So.
Oh. Oh, here's some people coming on.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny. Hi. Okay, let me pause the recording. And more. Melissa is an international coaches groups, organizations, corporations, and most of all individuals, and helps people learn how to step into their success and make money and serve the people that they're meant to serve. She's also teaches people at different colleges, universities, and hospital and healthcare facilities, and she speaks at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And I just wanted to share mostly about Melissa, that she has a super warm, beautiful heart. I talked to her on the phone for an hour or so the other day, and she's just so like humble, grateful, kind, loving, and she really just wants to impact people's lives for the good. She wants to take all the things that she's learned and all of the just miraculous things that have happened into her life and turn around, like God says, take the comfort that she's been provided and turn around and comfort others. And I think she has the most beautiful, amazing heart, loving heart. And we're just so blessed to have her on the call. And I'm so grateful. And I just wanted you all to be able to hear from her, because she is really a true gift to all of us and to Arvon and to the world. So thank you so much for joining us, Melissa. We're so grateful.
Thank you so much for having me. I greatly appreciate it. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. It's a little fuzzy, but I can hear you.
Okay, let me try something. And if that doesn't work, I'll jump on my iPhone. Whoops. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's better. Less fuzzy.
Okay. Jennifer, do you want me to just start?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I greatly appreciate it. So I'll give you a little bit about my background. In 2006, I wasn't feeling well, and I thought that I had mono again because I spent many years working 65 plus hours a week and traveling anywhere from 50 to 97% of the time. And when I did travel, I was gone Monday through Friday, home maybe on Saturday, and home maybe on Sunday. I wasn't present for myself, I wasn't present for my family, and I wasn't present for my friends. The bad thing about it is that I thought that that's what life was all about, working, making a lot of money, and learned the hard way. God was telling me for a long time that I needed to slow down. I needed to stop chasing the mighty buck. I needed to stop wanting to be that power-hungry woman who wanted to be top of executive, which I was most of my career, an executive. So in 2006, I thought I had mono, but it turned out that I didn't have mono. It turned out that I had multiple cancer. I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and I was very depressed. Before you actually have your hysterectomy, they put you on chemotherapy. And I was put on particular chemotherapy that made me insane, very depressed, very angry, very mood swings. It was like I was bipolar. And then I had a full hysterectomy in January 2nd of 2007. So what happened was I started to rapidly lose weight. I started to become very depressed. I started to go from hopeful to hopeless. Down to as light as 79 pounds and was living on the bathroom floor. And I was praying to God, asking God to please reveal to me what I needed to know. So what I learned was I needed to be gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and sugar-free, except for natural sugars. So I started to change my diet. I was going through chemotherapy, really just very, very sick individual, and just a lot of trust and faith in God, pushing myself to walk, pushing myself to exercise, pushing myself to meditate, pushing myself to continue to persevere. And what I did was I was able to overcome ovarian cancer. I went back to the lifestyle of getting up at 2 a.m. in the morning, getting on an airplane at 6 a.m., flying to a state or a country, spending a week there, working 65 plus hours a week, and getting home 11:30 p.m. on Friday night, or sometimes on Saturday, or sometimes not at all. At times I lived in one state, my family lived in another state. It was quite crazy. And then I started to not feel good again. And I was like, oh my God, what is going on? I'm like, I hope it's mono. I hope it's not cancer. And then I went to the doctor and I got diagnosed with white breast cancer. And it was a huge blow to me. I was very depressed. I was very upset. And I didn't know what to do but pray to God and ask God to please help me. So I had a lumpectomy. I had chemotherapy and I had radiation. And then I got diagnosed with left breast cancer. I had chemotherapy. I saw I was at 99 pounds and I saw that I was going to go down to 79 pounds again. I prayed to God and I asked God to please reveal to me what I did wrong. I was gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, and sugar-free. What was I doing wrong? And I went on the computer and Arbonne came up. And I saw that as a sign from God that the topical products that I was using were full of phthalates, carcinogens, parabens, toluene, tar, petroleum byproducts. I needed to eliminate those topical products because it only takes 26 seconds for a chemical toxin to touch your skin to every organ in your body. So even though I was eating clean and living clean, no drinking because alcohol is a carcinogen, I still got sick. But I hadn't changed over my products yet. So I changed over to Arbonne. I started doing more research, and I was researching Dr. Dr. Glidden, the Gerson, Dr. in particular, Dr. Campbell, who was at Cornell University. And what he said was dairy is the #1 cancer proliferator, even more so than sugar and gluten. And I also studied Dr. Robert Young, who's from Johns Hopkins University. And as I was studying, then I read a paper by the former CEO of the Chemical Society. His name is Nixon. And what he wrote is, we as scientists who are educated to analyze data know that chemotherapy does much, much more harm than it does good. After reading that extensive paper a couple times, I prayed to God for a week. And I went into my oncologist and I said to her that I'm no longer going to do chemotherapy. I quit. And my oncologist told me I was going to die. And I told her, well, because I was doing Arbonne 30 Days to Healthy Living and Beyond, I was using all Arbonne topical products, that I was able to, with my blood work, my blood was saying that my platelet count, my iron count, my potassium count, my B count, my C count, my calcium count was higher than the average person on chemotherapy. I was truly living the Arbonne 30 Days to Healthy Living and Beyond lifestyle. I was having the detox tea morning and night. I was living on with So Delicious unsweetened coconut milk, Arbonne protein shakes, 2 scoops, either a scoop of vanilla and a scoop of chocolate, or 2 scoops of chocolate, 2 scoops of vanilla. I was putting the fiber, the digestive enzymes, its balance, and sometimes antioxidant fruits or alkaline fruits. And I was living on that, and my blood work was coming back better than the average person. So I was showing that I was well on chemotherapy and radiation, or well than most people on chemotherapy and radiation. That after reading Dr. Nixon's article, I decided to quit chemotherapy because I knew if I had eliminated the chemical toxins from me topically and ingestively, that I could get better. And like I said, my oncologist told me I was going to die. And I made a decision after God revealed to me that what I was doing was okay, that I was going to be okay. So I had an agreement with my oncologist at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, which, by the way, I have 5 oncologists there because of the types of cancer: the ovarian, the breast, the squamous cell carcinoma, and the basal cell carcinoma, which I had previously to the breast cancers. And I knew that I could make myself well by exercise, by mind, body, and spirit health, by being emotionally, spiritually, and physically well, pushing myself to exercise even though I didn't feel good. So my oncologist and I agreed that in 6 months, if I was cancer-free, that I would sit down and I would tell her everything that I was doing to kill, not just survive cancer or prevent cancer, but to kill cancer. And so I decided to quit chemotherapy, to do the Arbonne 30 Days to Healthy Living and Beyond lifestyle, to exercise, to meditate, to pray, to do gratitudes lists. So I quit the chemotherapy, and a couple months later, or 6 months later, I was back at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. I went for my MRI with and without contrast, my mammogram, my ultrasound, and PET scan. So usually it's a whole day affair there. What happened was, this is 2013. This was 2013. What happened is after I had all my tests done, I was sitting in my oncologist's office, and she was flipping through my folder, and she started to cry. And then I started to cry. And she asked me why I was crying. And I thought in my head, oh my God, I've killed myself. I have cancer throughout my whole body. But she told me she was crying because I was cancer-free. And she needed to know everything that I did, not just to survive cancer, but to kill cancer. And at that moment in time, I realized by switching over to Arbonne and living the 30 days to healthy living and beyond lifestyle, that had actually saved my life. So my oncologist sat me down and she said, you have killed cancer. You need to go out and tell the world. At that time, I was afraid to go out and tell the world because I didn't want a scarlet C on my chest. Because what I didn't tell you is that while I had ovarian cancer and was on disability, my job was eliminated. I was a vice president in a very high, powerful job, and they let me go while I was sick with ovarian cancer, which is very sick within itself. And then when I had breast cancer, I had the same thing happen again. Thank God my girlfriend is an employment law attorney who did justice for me. But still, I was depressed. I was going through trauma. I was going through a life or death situation. And to make it worse, the company that I always worked so hard for, gave up my family, gave up myself for, just disposed of me like I was a piece of garbage. So it was even more of a compelling reason for Arbonne for me. Now, I was a user of Arbonne products before I was an independent consultant, and I'll explain why. Because I was trying to save my life. When I managed to save my life, I still didn't drop into as an independent consultant. And the reason being is I needed to prove that I could be cancer-free first. Through 2006 to 2013, I fought ovarian, breast, squamous cell carcinoma, and basal cell carcinoma. Since I have lived the Arbonne lifestyle consistently, I cheat intermittently, but consistently, I have not been sick with cancer. So that means we're in 2017, and I haven't had cancer since 2013. Arbonne has forever changed my life. And so when I was with my oncologist in 2015, my oncologist really pushed me hard to say, I want you to go meet with different departments at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, and I want you to teach them verbatim how you eat every day, the reasons why you eat every day, the reasons why you believe in alkalinity. So I'll go into a little bit about alkalinity. Most human beings have acidosis. They have too much acid in their body. When your blood is acidic, you are subject to cold, cough, flu, autoimmune diseases, any type of sickness. It starts off with a cold and cough. As you get sicker and sicker, it'll go into heart disease, it'll go into MS, it'll go into cancer. So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you get to alkalinity at 7.35 alkalinity in your body, no disease can live in your body. And components to get you there are eating organic vegetables, eating organic fruits. Never eat anything that isn't organic. The pesticides that we use, in particular in the United States, is known as Roundup, is so toxic for your body that it will make you sick. It will give you autoimmune diseases. It will give you cancer. It'll give you heart diseases. Now, for me, I'm an athlete and I'm very healthy. I'm the healthiest I've ever been in my life. But I have 13 strains of Lyme disease. I have Hashimoto's hypothyroid. I have cancer 5 times. And I have osteoporosis. I do not take any medication, okay? I do it all through nutrition. Because a long time ago, ancient Chinese ways were the way. In the 1950s, you had the Rockefellers and the Vanderbilts, the 1%ers, the very wealthy people, the powerful people. They actually worked with the pharmaceutical companies. And the pharmaceutical companies lined their pockets with a lot of money, along with politicians and lobbyists. And what they did is they got onto the educational boards of the medical universities, in particular in the United States. These medical universities let these pharmaceutical companies on the boards, and they forever changed medicine in the United States, meaning write a prescription. All prescriptions really are for you to get hooked on a drug, may it be narcotic or non-narcotic. It makes something else ill in your body and write another prescription. So any doctor today learns to write prescriptions as the solutions. I speak at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, Robert Wood Johnson, and some other centers and health centers, Huntington Health Center, and so forth. And the reason I do that is because I want people to know the history. I want them to understand that ancient Chinese ways, organic, healthy foods were the way of health and wellness and wealth in the past. Today is, you don't feel good, let me write you a prescription. Then another body part starts to fail, let me write you another prescription, and so on and so on and so on. When I spoke recently at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, I asked the doctors in private, how many hours of nutritional training have you received? The answers from the 6 doctors was 0 to 4 hours in all of the 10 years that they are in medical school. 0 to 4 hours. It means they know nothing about nutrition. Actually, I educate people at hospitals in the nutrition department because they're prescribing boosts and ensure. Those proteins are the worst for you. They're cancer proliferators because they're full of 3 different kinds of sugars. The fact of the matter is that I also asked these doctors, how many hours of education did you have on chemical toxins, such as carcinogens, parabens, tar, lead, mercury, toluene, xylene, etc. They had 0 education. So here you have these doctors telling you to use Aquaphora or to use Vaseline. They're all petroleum byproducts. Why would you put gasoline on your body when it takes 26 seconds for it to go to every organ? Another compelling story for Arbonne. Arbonne doesn't have any of these. So fast forward, I am meeting with my oncologist in 2016, and my oncologist told me I really need to get out there and start speaking. all around the world and all around the United States about health, wellness, alkalinity, and chemical toxins. So that's actually what I do today, is I educate people. Another thing about my background, I've worked for a pharmaceutical company, I've worked for a healthcare company, and I've worked for the government. I've seen it go full circle. So you have the oil companies, the sugar companies, and the pharmaceutical companies that are lining the lobbyists with significant amount of money. The reason being is when they are cash cows, that doesn't require these companies to reformulate. How you get petroleum byproducts into the shampoos, the conditioners, the body washes, the lotions in the stores today, and they're in 99% of the products in the stores today. So what happened was you had these oil companies, and these oil companies, they have barrels of oil. They go on the docks, here in New York City and New Jersey, they come in daily. So on the bottom of these barrels is sludge. It's really odorless, colorless, tasteless sludge, but it acts as a filter. In the past, the oil companies used to have to pay toxic waste tax on that. Similarly, when you go and you get your oil changed in your car, and you get this environmental tax and this state tax on top of it. What these oil companies decided to do was say, hey, consumer care pharmaceutical companies, I've got this product that can act as a filter, and it can give a shelf life of 40 years in your products. So they literally sold their chemical toxic waste, the sludge on the bottom of barrels, to the consumer care pharmaceutical companies such as Bayer, Procter & Gamble, Unilever, and Johnson & Johnson. And they put it in the shampoos, the body washes, the lotions, the conditioners, the preservative. If you ever look at those bottles, there's like a 4-year shelf life, because 50% of that product is a chemical toxin. It's a preservative, but it's also gasoline. And again, you put it on your body, it goes to every organ in your body. So what I'm saying is, holistically, organically, it's very important that we watch what we eat, to read every label of every product that we ingest. Should also make sure that anything topically we put on our body, we should ensure that we are knowing what product it is. If you don't understand something on a label, look it up. Most likely it is something that you should not be putting on your body. And be conscious about what you eat. So it's really important to eat leafy greens, kale, mixed greens, green apple, avocado, cauliflower, broccoli. Any nut that comes from a tree is good. Any nut that comes from the ground is not healthy for you. For example, peanuts are not healthy for you, but almonds are okay for you. They come from a tree. They're very good. I recommend marinara almond butter. It's delicious. I recommend So Delicious products. Coconut Bliss is coconut ice cream. It's delicious. It's non-GMO. There's no extra sugar. It's made from unsweetened coconut milk. The chocolate in it is non-dairy chocolate. I use So Delicious, like if creamer, if I'm going to put any creamer in my tea. So Delicious unsweetened coconut milk makes my shakes every day. So Delicious whipped cream. I use Tinkyada. It's organic brown rice pasta. It's delicious. Even people who, I changed my family over to gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, sugar-free without them knowing. And it was hit or miss. But I have to say that, again, I'm the healthiest and the happiest I've ever been. And I made a decision in December 2015 to jump in as an Arbonne independent consultant after being a user of the product. RE9 was so good to me and to my skin while doing radiation and chemotherapy. I am almost 50 years old. I don't look it. I don't have wrinkles. For somebody who has no ovaries and has osteoporosis, I should have wrinkles, but I don't. It's RE9 across the board. I use all the RE9 products. our Genius product line is phenomenal. That was very useful to me. Of course, 30 Days to Healthy Living and Beyond. And when I did have hair, I used FC5 shampoo, conditioner, and at times body wash. Back then we had C-Source, so I was using the C-Source as my detox line. Today we have Rescue and Renew. I use Rescue and Renew. And I love the fact, Rescue and Renew, the oil, that acts as bug repellent. It used to be our Awake spray that acts as bug repellent, but now we have the Rescue and Renew. What I can tell you is if you have, or you know anyone who has cancer, or you know anybody who has any autoimmune diseases, it can be cured. I teach people how to eat the way I eat, how to live the way I live. And there's been success stories. I work with people in hospice, and I've been able to turn those lives around. 5 people in particular in recent times were supposed to be dead last year, and they're alive. I was supposed to be dead in 2006, and I'm alive. I worked with an MS patient in a wheelchair for a couple years. I got her on 30 Days to Healthy Living and Beyond. I got her on my alkalinity lifestyle, alkaline foods, organic foods. 90 days later, she started moving her feet. 6 months later, she started moving her legs. 9 months later, she started walking. A year and a half later, she's doing kickboxing, she's running, she has a healthy life. And that was all by eliminating gluten, dairy, soy, sugar, and high alkaline foods. I've worked with people with Crohn's and colitis, and those people are all healthy like I am. But I've also worked with people who say, oh, and I was working with somebody before we got on this call, oh, but I eat bread. I do everything you did, but I still eat bread. And I said to her, I said, no wonder why you're not well. Gluten in the United States is very bad for you. In particular, gluten has a kernel, and the first 3 to 5 layers have nutrients in it. The nutrient is, I'm getting a question. Okay, great question. I will answer that in a second. And I forgot about that too, so thank you for that question. So what happened is this person is sick again, and they're sick again because they're not following the healthy lifestyle, clean living, clean eating. And so, that's no drinking, no smoking, and no gluten. So what happened was this person, I said, you can eat like I do and be well, or you cannot. It all really depends. But again, I believe in emotional, spiritual, and physical health. You need to have all 3 in order to get very healthy. So one of the questions that was just asked is, how did I manage pain? And I totally forgot to address that, so I apologize. How I address pain was the PhytoSport line. So I don't take any narcotics. And I forgot to mention to you, in 1993, while on my motorcycle, I was hit by a drunk driver and life restored to the hospital. I fractured my knees through my shoulders and was paralyzed. I had to learn to walk again. But I am a persevering kind of person, so I wasn't taking that. And I'm also a very spiritual person. I believe in God and the power of prayer. So I don't take any narcotics. I don't take ibuprofen. I don't take Advil. I don't take Tylenol. I take no Vicodin, none of that. I use PhytoSport. And when I was sick, I used PhytoSport too. After surgery, of course, I had the Vicodin they gave me, but that only lasted a week. And then after that, PhytoSport. So I used the pre-PhytoSport workout to help with nausea and to get hydrated. I use hydration for hydration. And the after workout PhytoSport was really the pain management. The turmeric, the cayenne pepper, and the amino acids in there all help. They all help with inflammation. They all help with pain. So it was really a revelation. And back then for me, it was trial and error. So now that I've perfected that with my trial and error, I teach other people how to manage pain with the PhytoSport line and also to stay hydrated. And I would mix the energy physics and the hydration together. So I would get a boost of energy because I was very tired, as well as I would get hydration, because hydration is very important. You should drink in ounces half your body weight in water every single day. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you have to have 50 ounces of water, period. Lemon and lime, organic lemon and lime, put in your water. I use apple cider vinegar and baking soda every single day. Apple cider vinegar will help with acidosis. It will help you to get to alkalinity. Just like pure sugar cane that's in our protein shakes, that will help you get to alkalinity as well. I'm trying to think what else. I have so much information. I don't want to overload anybody, but I do know that you can live an ailment-free life. There is a possibility. There is a way, and it's a matter of up to each individual. Arbonne was a huge component to my survivorship. That's how I can talk about the products with 100% belief. It transformed my life in ways that are so significant and so blissful and so blessed. I can say anything but great about Arbonne topicals and ingestibles. Really amazing things what it did for me, and it's doing for other people. I have helped over 1,000 people combat cancer or autoimmune diseases, and everyone who followed how I eat every single day and how I live every single day is ailment-free today. It didn't happen overnight, and it took time, but as they followed this for a year, they got better. I'm working with a cancer patient right now who had a tumor 4.7 centimeters. 9 months later, it was 1.7 milliliters, and now it's 0. They have no more cancer, and they were told that their cancer would never go away. And it's, again, the alkalinity, using chemical toxin-free products, and the gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free, sugar-free. I have another question. What did you use? Okay. Apple cider vinegar, baking soda. What were the measurements of that? I sent Jennifer the information. She can send it out to everyone. I actually have a listing of how I eat every single day, and I can resend it to Jennifer. It's a very long email, but it's verbatim how I live every single day. And it's also an education about gluten, dairy, soy, and sugar. So I'd be happy to get that to Jennifer again, and then she can send it out to her whole team. Okay, so someone has Hashimoto's hypothyroid, just like I do. I don't suggest getting off your medication like cold turkey. What I suggest is you eat and live the way that I do, and then as you go for your blood work for your thyroid, your endocrinologist or your medical doctor, whomever is treating you for that, will see your levels. For example, mine were perfect in my last blood test, and my endocrinologist couldn't believe it, that through healthy living and alkaline foods that I was able to get my thyroid. Oh, and you also triggered something else. I forgot to mention, the first thing that happens to you is your adrenal glands. So your adrenal glands shut down. And then when your adrenal glands shut down, then your thyroid shuts down. So it's really attacking it at the adrenal glands, which makes your thyroid start to work right. And it goes with the alkalinity. Let's see what else. Okay, so if your medication keeps getting decreased, that's good. But make sure that you have alkalinity. And Healthy Wiser, you can order on Amazon.com. They're Healthy Wiser. I urinate on a Healthy Wiser stick every single morning to see where my alkalinity is. And I am always in range. Now, when I cheat, and sometimes I take December as a cheat month, but I have to remember every time I cheat, I'm taking life out of me, because I could get cancer again from cheating. So sometimes I'm not at exactly 7.35 in December when I cheat around holiday time. I may not cheat this December, I may, but I'm just being honest with you. I believe in being in integrity and being honest. Does anyone have any other questions? You can ask me anything. I'll answer you honestly. And if I don't know the answer, I will tell you I don't know the answer.
You all can type in the chat box because I'm thinking if I unmute everyone. So if you can't see the chat box to ask a question, just go like this and I'll unmute you. Do any of you have a question? One thing you might say is perhaps like colitis, diverticulitis, Crohn's. What's some of your recommendation for healing the gut? Because, you know, if someone did have chemo, it's hard on your digestive system, and are those diseases? Do you have recommendations that you give to people with those digestive type issues?
Yes, because I have autoimmune disease and I have cancer, it's the same regimen. And I can tell you our Digestion Plus is amazing. Now, in how I eat is with Digestion Plus, that goes in every one of my shakes. I do 2 to 3 shakes a day. Greens Balance goes in every one of my shakes. Protein Boost goes in every one of my shakes. Either 2 scoops of chocolate or 2 scoops of vanilla goes into my shake. I do a full scoop of fiber. We are very fiber deprived. Some people can't tolerate a full scoop, so I teach them do a quarter scoop for a week or 2 weeks, then do half a scoop for a week or 2 weeks, and then do 3/4 scoop of fiber for another 2 weeks, and then go to a full scoop. And if you get too much bloat, then just back it down. But I make sure that I have all those components in my shake, and I always make my shakes with So Delicious unsweetened coconut milk. That's how I like them. I put organic fruits, I put organic vegetables in addition to the Greens Balance. And Digestion Plus, if your stomach's bothering you, drink it, put it under your tongue and drink it, or just put it in water and take the Digestion Plus. It's very important we have probiotic and prebiotic every single day of our lives. I have a couple questions. Okay, let me see. Have I dealt with anybody who is diabetic, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, and where can we buy a Healthy Wiser? Okay. Healthy Wiser are test strips. So when you go to the doctor, they have you urinate in a cup, and then they stick this test strip in it. And that's basically what the doc does for you. Do that every single day. Yes, I've worked with people who have had type 1 and type 2 diabetes. We've been able to get rid of the type 2 diabetes by even eating this lifestyle. And type 1 diabetes, we've been able to have the person not have like the swings up and down, where that they have energy, then they drop, and then they have energy, and then they drop, and then they feel that they are not feeling well. Let me just see something. Okay. I thank you, Jennifer. I think I had another question in here. Let me just make sure that I get everything. In fact, you know what I'm wondering? I'm wondering if I should share my screen and bring up how I eat, or I'll just send that to you, Jennifer.
You can send it to me, and then I'll post the document on our team page. And Rosalia asked what to give her friend that has MS and doesn't use Arbonne products yet.
Okay. It's like incredible what happened with Shannon. And I actually, I'll be honest with you, I bought the 30 Days to Healthy Living Beyond package her first month for Shannon, along with the Greens Balance and the Protein Boost. And also, I forgot to mention the antioxidant and immunity booster. I take one every single day. And when I feel like I'm going to get sick, or I've been around sick people, I take one in the evening. I slept next to Alexis at the most powerful women's conference in Las Vegas. Alexis had strep throat and bronchitis. I slept in the same bed as her. I did not get sick. That's how healthy I am. I can be around sick people and not get sick.
And for MS, multiple sclerosis?
Yes, this very useful. See, MS is an autoimmune disease, okay? And again, remember, I'm emphasizing you have to be emotionally well, spiritually well, and physically well. So you need to exercise, very important. You need to have lean muscle mass. You have to get rid of the fat. You need to eat alkalinity, have the 7.35 alkalinity. And you also have to have a spiritual connection with the higher power. I don't care what that higher power is, you just need a spiritual connection with the higher power. I wake up every morning and I do prayer, and I thank God for keeping me alive and healthy. And then I do meditation. Then I go to the gym. Then I come home and I get ready for the workday. In the evening, I pray again and I thank God for the day. I do reflection to see if I owe somebody an apology. Do I need to make an amends? Have I harmed or hurt anyone today? And if so, I better go make that amends either that night or the next morning. And then I end my day with a gratitudes list. And on some days, because I have bad days, trust me, I do. I sometimes thank God for a roof over my head, food on the table, air conditioning, or heat. It goes down to simplicity. And then there's other days where I'm having a really great day and I had a super duper win, or I got a project or whatever. And I say, oh, thank you for the great project, or thank you for the money that came in, or something like that. And living that type of life where you're always in well-being, I believe, is a key component also to survivorship and combating the disease. Yes. Through Melissa International, I coach people. I coach people to help them overcome their obstacles. I love people, and I love people being successful. I would be the happiest person on earth if I could help somebody and then they're much more successful than me. And I also think that's why I'm a good fit for Arbonne, because it doesn't matter who you are, what you are. I love to see your success. I love when people get Mercedes. So I have a company called Melissa International. You can get to me through Melissa International, and it's melissaintl.com. I wanted Melissa International, but a merchant already has that, and they wouldn't give up that URL. Or you can get a hold of me through my cell phone, which is 860-966-9708. And then I always do the free first coaching session for free, and then after that, we see what fits into your budget. I have a price for the average person, but for somebody who's struggling, I have a sliding scale. I don't ever want to have to turn anyone away.
We have one last question about psoriasis. What's your recommendation on psoriasis?
FC5. FC5 works really well with psoriasis. Also, I don't know if we can still get a hold of it or if you have anything around, but the Men's Sky bar soap was very good for psoriasis too. But you have to remember, psoriasis starts on the inside. I can guarantee you the person who has psoriasis has gluten and dairy.
So Digestion Plus and 30 Days to Healthy Living.
Absolutely. 30 Days to Healthy Living, that shake with all of the ingredients in it is more nutrition than any nutritious meal you could ever buy for yourself or make for yourself. We are loaded with vitamins, nutrients, and essentials that are key ingredients to a healthy body. Yeah,
so your skin is the reflection of your gut and your liver. So if you have skin issues, you have gut and liver issues. So Detox Tea, Digestion Plus, 30 Days to Healthy Living, Conditioning Oil, FC5. I love it. So are we good? Healthwise Stick on Amazon. Check it out. I get the pH strips on Amazon. Oh, there Julie goes. There's Healthwise Sticks, Amazon. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. Anything else? Anything else?
Yes.
We are so grateful that you took this time, Melissa. It's like almost 11 o'clock your time, and we are so incredibly grateful for your heart and your love and your passion, and your contributing to us. We are so thankful. So thank you so much. And I'm going to try to upload this video to my YouTube channel, which is just Jennifer Hornbuckle. My husband's a technological person, so I will definitely work on uploading the video. Do you have any last words of wisdom for us, Melissa?
Okay. As an Arbonne independent consultant, you have a duty to be the product of the product. That means you need to do 30 days to healthy living and beyond, and really live the lifestyle. You will have significant difference in your interior and your exterior body. It is not hard to change when you feel superior. You have energy, you have happiness, you have vitality, you have livelihood. It is a significant difference than not doing it. And I was at Debbie Neal's leadership retreat last weekend, and she had people raise their hands, and some people raised their hand that they never did 30 days to healthy living and beyond. The personal opinion of mine, you have to be the product of the product to talk authentically about it. We have the best nutrition in the world, hands down. We're vegan certified and kosher certified. No artificial flavors, sugars, colors. There is not one product on the market that can meet our standards. We do all of our research and development in-house. We do all of our formulation in-house, and we do all of our manufacturing in-house. No other product line does that. We are superior. Live the 30 days to healthy living and beyond lifestyle. Follow it. Do clean living, clean eating, and you will see people will walk up to you and tell you, oh my God, what are you doing? You look phenomenal. That's exactly what happened to me. People saw me like so like gaunt with my cheeks sucked in and next to nothing, weighing next to nothing, and so weak and so frail. And then they see me now and they're like, they can't even believe what I look like and how I live my life. They want it all. I've had people join my team just by watching my journey. I have a couple questions. Oh, thank you very much. Again, I will help anyone. I'm very passionate about this because no one should die from autoimmune diseases and no one should die from cancer. They
Right.
don't have to. All it is a lifestyle change. That's it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody's time.
Thank you so much.
And I will answer questions.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for your phone number. Thank you for your website. We're so grateful for you taking your time. We know you need to go to bed because you're a very healthy person, so you need to have your sleep. So thank you so much. We all love you. We're so grateful for you. We're so thankful. Thank you for taking your time. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Oh, and by the way,
yeah!
Arbonne shirts.
We love it. Yay! I love it. Yay!
To follow the Grateful Dead. So
I love it.
cool.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mwah, mwah. Thank you.
I love you all.
Thank you so
Bye.
much, everyone, for
Thank
hopping
you.
on.
Bye. Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.